All right, so get ready, because today we are diving deep into a mystery that I think has been bugging pretty much all of us.
Oh, yeah.
The eternally broken McDonald's ice cream machine.
The bane of our existence.
We've all seen the memes, right?
Yeah.
Experienced the disappointment at the drive-thru.
Uh-huh.
And maybe even wondered,
Yeah.
is this like some elaborate prank?
Right?
But fear not, dear listeners, because
Yes.
today
Yeah.
we are going behind the counter. We are taking you on a journey
Okay.
into the heart of this McFlurry mayhem
All right.
with the help of journalist Johnny Harris
Okay.
and his in-depth investigation
All right.
into this phenomenon.
So ready.
So, are you ready to get McFlurried away with us today?
Always ready for a good McFlurry deep dive.
Perfect.
I think what makes this so fascinating, though, is that it's a story that goes way beyond just soft serve.
Okay.
Like, we're going to be talking about big business practices, franchise agreements, how a seemingly small problem can actually expose these, like, big cracks in the system.
It's not just a meme. It's like a genuine head-scratcher.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Websites like McBroken actually track these broken machines in real time.
Wow.
And the numbers are kind of staggering.
I bet.
Like all the time, there's so many of them that are down.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the popular theories out there are like, oh, it's the long cleaning cycles.
Right.
Or, you know, it's probably employee error.
Right. Someone didn't do it right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Other fast food chains use the same ice cream machines, like Wendy's.
Okay.
And they don't seem to have this constant breakdown issue.
Hmm.
So what gives? Why is McDonald's so special?
Well, that's a great question, and it leads us to a very crucial piece of this puzzle, and that's the franchise owners.
Okay.
See, they're kind of caught in this, like, bind.
Okay.
They obviously want to keep their customers happy, but they're also bound by these agreements with McDonald's, which dictate they can only use one specific machine.
Oh, really?
The C602.
Oh, okay.
Made by a company called Taylor.
So they're stuck with this one machine,
They are.
no matter what.
Yeah,
That's got to be frustrating,
I would imagine so.
especially when it's like constantly breaking down.
Right.
So tell me more about this C602. Like,
Oh.
what makes it so prone to these meltdowns?
So picture this. You've got this, like, hulking machine
Okay.
with a cleaning cycle that takes, like, 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah. And it heats up to 151 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my God.
It's, like, very sensitive.
Okay.
And apparently, like, even the tiniest hiccup in this whole cleaning process can just throw the whole thing off.
Right.
Triggering this, like, cascade of cryptic error codes that, like, could rival the Enigma code.
So you're telling me that this machine is like a total diva,
Basic, right?
and the poor employees and managers are left like scrambling, trying to decipher these cryptic messages like they're like ancient hieroglyphics,
Yeah.
all while a line of customers is getting increasingly hangry for their McFlurries.
Yes.
No wonder everyone's frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a recipe for disaster.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, the franchise owners aren't even given, like, the proper tools to understand these error codes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what do they have to do? They have to call in, like, the cavalry, the Taylor-authorized technician.
Oh, I bet that doesn't come cheap.
You're telling me
Yeah.
Harris uncovered these invoices that showed these technicians charging, like, a base fee of $144 just to, like, walk in the door.
Well,
Yeah.
Just to show up.
Just to show up. And then hundreds more for every 15 minutes after that,
Oh, my goodness. That's highway robbery.
disguised as tech support.
It really is.
Yeah.
So these franchise owners are basically stuck between a rock and hard place.
Totally.
They can either risk losing customers and revenue by having a broken ice cream machine, or they can shell out like a small fortune for a technician
Yeah.
who may not even fix the problem permanently.
Right.
I'm starting to see why this whole thing feels like a conspiracy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, and here's where it gets even more interesting. You know how we talked about, like, Taylor's business model earlier?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that, like, a hefty 25% of their revenue comes from service and repairs.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So a quarter of their profits
Yeah.
come from fixing broken machines.
Essentially, yeah.
Isn't that kind of like a doctor
Yeah.
getting paid more when their patients are sick?
It's a little suspicious, isn't it?
It feels a little wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like they've created a system where it's in their best interest to have machines that aren't perfectly reliable.
Right, because then they get that constant stream of repair money.
And remember, we talked about like these investors.
Oh, yeah.
They love
recurring revenue.
recurring revenue.
Exactly. They love it.
It's like music to their ears. So basically, it's profitable for Taylor to keep things just broken enough
Yeah.
to keep those repair calls coming in.
Yep.
It's a vicious cycle.
Totally.
And the franchise owners are caught right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. But I have a feeling this is just the tip of the McFlurry iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
What else did Harris uncover?
There's so much more to this story. Buckle up. Okay, so we've talked about the machine itself, but let's get a little deeper into the digital world of the C602.
Okay, the software.
The software, exactly. Let's just say it's not exactly user-friendly.
User-friendly, huh?
No. Imagine you're trying to operate like a smartphone from, like, the early 2000s.
Okay.
Like one of those, like, really clinky ones.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it's like working with the C602 software.
Oh, wow. So it's outdated.
Outdated, clunky.
Oh,
Those error codes. Still basically hieroglyphics.
So not only is the machine itself kind of a beast, but it's also running on software that's stuck in the Stone Age.
Pretty much.
No wonder it's throwing tantrums.
Right.
But wait, you mentioned the secret menu in the service manual.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So deep within this, like, super long service manual for the C602, there's this, like, hidden menu.
Okay.
And it contains what they call, quote unquote, critical operating parameters.
Critical operating parameters.
Yeah. And so these are like settings and adjustments that can help franchise owners troubleshoot and potentially fix a lot of the common issues.
Okay.
But guess who doesn't have access to these digital secrets?
The franchise owners.
You got it.
Really?
Yep. The very people who are responsible for, like, running these machines and serving customers are locked out.
Why on earth would they do that?
It doesn't make sense, right?
No, it doesn't.
You give someone a car, but you deny them access to the engine.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
You're basically setting them up for failure.
Exactly, and setting them up for those expensive service calls.
And to think this was all happening while McDonald's was simultaneously, like, pushing their own solution.
Right.
Developed by the same folks who were profiting from the broken machines in the first place.
Exactly. It's all very, very suspicious.
It's shady. It doesn't sit right.
Yeah, it definitely raises some questions about their motives.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, are they really trying to fix this problem?
Right.
Or are they content to kind of, like, milk it for all it's worth?
Yeah, and it's not just about the money either.
Okay.
It's about control.
Control?
Keeping the franchise owners dependent on them.
Right.
Keeping that power dynamic in place.
So this whole saga has really become about, like, so much more than just ice cream.
It really has.
Like,
it's turned into this, like, this whole examination of corporate power, innovation, and the choices that we make as consumers.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is. And it makes you wonder what other systems are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like operating in these shadows, benefiting the few at the expense of the many.
And I think that's something that our listeners should really, like, sit with.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
It's wild, right? We started with a broken ice cream machine, and now we're talking about a broken system.
It really is. And, you know, it highlights the challenges of innovation. Like, you've got this small company, Kytch.
Yeah.
They're coming up with this clever solution that could really benefit everyone, the franchise owners, the employees, even the customers, right?
Right.
But then, instead of embracing that innovation, what happens?
McDonald's is like, nope.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
It's like they're more concerned with maintaining control and protecting those existing relationships, even as those relationships are, you know, part of the problem.
Yeah, it's almost as if they don't actually care about fixing the issue.
Right.
It's more about, like, you know, protecting their bottom line. Yeah, and keeping those profits coming in, even if it means, like, customers are frustrated.
Which is frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we as consumers, we just want a McFlurry.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to deal with all this drama.
Yeah, and it's a pattern we see in so many industries, you know?
Yeah.
Big companies prioritizing profit over progress.
Right.
They stifle innovation. They leave consumers with very limited choices.
It's like we're stuck in this system that doesn't really work for us.
Yeah.
But we just kind of have to accept it.
But we don't have to accept it.
Okay, so what can we do?
We have power as consumers, right?
Yeah.
We can choose where we spend our money. We can support businesses that actually align with our values.
I love that. Vote with our wallets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And beyond individual choices, we can also use our voices, right? We can hold these companies accountable.
Yeah.
Social media,
Yep.
contact our elected officials.
Yeah.
We can support organizations that are fighting for consumer rights and fair competition.
I mean, this whole conversation has been eye-opening.
It has.
We started with a broken ice cream machine.
Yeah, just wanting a McFlurry.
And now we're talking about corporate power, consumer choice. It's a lot.
It's a lot. But it shows us that even small problems can reveal these, big systemic issues.
Totally.
Right. And it reminds us that we have a role to play in demanding change. So the next time you encounter a broken system, don't just accept it.
Yeah.
Right? Ask questions, seek out solutions, and use your voice to advocate for a better way.
So, to our listeners, we leave you with this.
Yes.
Don't settle for a broken system.
Please don't.
Be informed, be discerning, and most importantly, be a force for positive change.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
After all, we all deserve a world where the ice cream machines work.
And where businesses actually prioritize people over profits.
Couldn't said it better myself.
Oh.
That's all for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening.